Thank you for respecting my boundaries.
Yay. Thank you for being bisexual.
Yay.
No.
Hey. You don't want to make it into show either. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel.
Attends un petit peu, j'enlève mes petits poils. J'ai des poils partout.
Okay.
Attends, on va faire ton hello everyone.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Attends, je suis le coco. Il est ici.
You're just delaying.
Oui, je suis pas prêt.
You have to do this.
Yeah, comme Kim, là.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Olives and Orgasms. Ali here, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Gab.
Hi.
And well, as I've mentioned before, we've been super busy this season. It's been so hard to sit down and have fun and film content. But today we had a little bit of time. So we said, yes, let's go and do a video. I've been getting a few questions on videos and about our relationship. Do we have an open relationship? How do we manage multiple partners? Are we swingers? Do we do MMF threesomes? Like all those kinds of things. So I figured that we would come on here today together and address some of those questions and tell you guys a little bit about our relationship and our agreements. So I'm gonna start by asking you the question, do we have an open relationship?
I don't know. What is an open relationship?
I think an open relationship is what we want to make it. As
Yes.
Then yes.
Everything is an open relationship.
So open relationships for me can mean many different things in the ethical non-monogamy community. There are so many ways to define an open relationship. I think it's like a case-by-case basis and what you want to make it. I prefer the term designer relationship because I think it's encompasses more of the creative aspect in terms of how you want to live your life. What kind of relationships do you want? What kind of arrangements do you want to have? I think it's kind of fun to think about a relationship in that way.
Well, I like that I'm now part of a community,
Oh.
the non-ethical monogamous.
No, it's ethical non-monogamy.
Oh my god. Do we go to like 5 à 7? No, but it's open in the sense that it's non-traditional and there's other people involved. But it's not like open in the, like I've had previous relationship where it was like, oh, I don't want a girlfriend. So then, okay, let's date other people and don't ask, don't tell. Which after a while I was like, yeah, no, that's not really what I want. I mean, I don't want to date other people. Dating is not really, I was more thinking sex with more people.
Well, dating takes time, right? It's like...
Dating takes time, then sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's pretty horrible, and then you're at the bar, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, it was fun, huh?
So what do you do for a living?
Yeah, like all those questions. What do we, like, we are open in the sense that we invite people, but you know what? There are always girls.
They are always girls, which brings me into my next question. Well, somebody asked what we think about MMF threesomes, which we've never had one before.
Nope.
And this particular person wrote that he'd like to hear about it from a male perspective. FYI, just some backstory on there, we do only invite females into our couple, mostly because I'm interested in females, and that's kind of what I was looking for. Even when I met Gab, I said that I want to be with someone where I can explore female sexual relationships with. Not necessarily interested in seeking out, you know, MMF threesomes. If it happens one day where we're in some kind of situation where like it kind of happens naturally and Gab is down, like I would never say no, but it's not something that we actively seek out. What about you? How do you feel about that?
Well, I will probably never actively seek out that. Plus, we have like all those non-written rules where, like, let's say we invite a girl and we have sex with her, then you're allowed to chill with her, and I am not, which is totally fine by me because I have like already many friends that I would like to chill with that I've known since high school, and I don't even have time to chill with them. So I mean, maybe it's an unwritten rule that it's like, oh, it's open, but nah, we don't want other guys.
Yeah.
It's morally, but you know, when I was thinking of like, oh, I want to live the dream was not like, oh, I want to see my girlfriend getting fucked by another man, which is totally fine if it is your dream, but it wasn't mine, you know.
Oh.
It was more like, let's find a bisexual woman who wants to have like one guy and other girls.
I wanted to touch on a point that you mentioned about one of our agreements is in terms of me being able to spend time with a girl and he is not. So this is going to be a whole other video that I'd like to do one day addressing jealousy, because obviously there is some jealousy that arises in our relationship, mostly from my end. I'd say it's pretty tame and manageable, but I definitely do experience signs of jealousy. It's totally normal, and a lot of the time it comes up when it's a new situation that we haven't been in yet, and then once I've passed through it, I know how to manage it, and you know, those feelings of jealousy just kind of pass. And yeah, so one of the rules or agreements that I asked Gab was in terms of us spending time with people. You know, I don't really spend time with other men. So there's this whole like emotional part that Gab doesn't really necessarily have to worry about, because I don't spend time with other men really in a like romantic sexual way. I see that kind of as like a privilege almost in a way. And for me, like when we meet girls, some of them I think are really cool, and I would love to spend more time with them and develop a friendship, not necessarily a romantic relationship, but just in terms of friends. And I still do get like a little bit jealous here and there if Gab is like one-on-one with someone that we slept with. And so I asked him if we could agree that like I could spend time with the girls one-on-one and develop like a closer friendship with, and that it's okay if like he doesn't. And he was like, yeah, whatever, sure. Yeah. So that works for us. And I must say that he respects it 100%, and we've never had issues, and I'm really appreciative of the fact that you are very what's the word I'm looking for? Reciprocating. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but reassuring in that. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you for respecting my boundaries.
Yay. Thank you for being bisexual.
When I first met Gab, he described to me this crazy thing that he saw on National Geographic, which I think is hilarious in terms of his dream one day. And I'm gonna let him describe it because I think it's so funny. Well,
now it's gonna be out there. Like it was something that I was telling like with a few of my friends to be funny, but I'm down to tell it now too. So when we met, and she was like, "What do you want? You know, what's your?" And I have a tendency to be really honest about what my dreams are, and I think about them a lot. So, and I was like, "Have you ever seen a sea lion? Lion mare in French, sea lion, I guess in English. It's like they have like one guy with 50 female, and sometimes like one of the guy will come to steal your girls, and then they fight to the death, like, oh, with their big ass nose, and they crash into each other." And I was like, you know, that guy chilling on the beach with all his girls, like, yeah, see me like that. That's my dream, you know?
And they're actually called beach masters.
And funny thing is, like, because their biggest, I guess, and strongest get like a bunch of girls, and then there's like you can see them in California, and you see like the big ass dude with all his girls, and then you have another and another, and then further down the beach you have those beaches where it's all the guys who didn't get any girls because they're not strong or tall enough, and they're called loser beach. And
Are they really called Loser Beach?
Yeah. And on those patch of beach, there is no conflict. So yeah, but I wanted to like be one of those guys with their girls on the beach. And you know what? I think many people do. I just look at what people do in vacation. Is just basically go lie on the beach and check girls
Look
out.
for women, look for men, look
Yeah.
for ex. I wonder if there's any conflict on the beach with all the girls though.
By the way, like they come to steal their girls, so the guy is like, I will fucking fight you to the death.
But I mean, within the female sea lions.
It
They
doesn't
didn't
look
talk
like
about
it.
that.
No, it doesn't look like it. I'm gonna quote Jordan Peterson, and you can edit that out because, like, I don't think it's a really quotable guy, but still, I read the book, and that part is interesting. He said that in nature, which I don't know to what extent it's true, but guys will like fight to have a pecking order, and female will not do that. They will let the guys fight over the pecking order and wait to see like who's at the top, and then like they will.
That sounds pretty male-like qualities.
Yes, but every time I said that, like female disagree. They're like, we're fighting, but it's a different fight.
It's a silent fight.
Yeah.
It's a passive-aggressive kind of fight.
Yeah, it's even worse probably. Like, I will not fight you, but I will destroy you. With all of like your job, friends, everything. So I don't know to what extent that is true.
So next question we have is, a lot of time, are we swingers? And the answer is no. You know, I enjoy watching him have sex with another woman. I don't particularly have like a fantasy of him to watch me. I don't know if you do, or...
By that time when we went to the loft and you like, it was her first time. Yeah. And you just like wanted to just gently show her, like gently bring her to that. Like she was a little like, my God, it's my first time. You just sat me down on that little couch, and I still had my like drink. I really enjoyed that. Sitting on the photo, like.
I know, but that was with a woman.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I have sex with a guy.
Yeah.
See me as a sea lion.
Yeah, I know. So that being said, no, we're not really into swinging. And you know, in one of my previous videos, the sex club video, you can go to these places and not necessarily be swingers. You can be a couple and not be swingers. So, you know, when we went, like we weren't swinging with other couples. We were looking for a girl, obviously, but like we didn't even sleep with anybody that night. Like we were perfectly happy just like having sex with each other and, you know, watching, observing, walking around. Like it was new, it was exciting. And yeah, so you don't always have to be swingers to be in these kinds of situations. And yeah, and we've been propositioned like many times by people before, and you know, we were just like born into it, but that's okay.
Yeah, like remove the guy out of there and I would have been interested. What is the truth?
Do we have any other rules, or?
Please talk to your loyal followers about communications.
Communication is key. I mean, that's cliche for a reason, obviously, but it's true. I'm very grateful to have a partner like Gab, where I feel comfortable and safe to talk about my insecurities, you know, especially when I'm feeling jealous, and I'm not nervous to talk to him about it because he always receives it really well and replies really well. Makes me feel good and safe to talk about these things, which I can't even tell you how important it is to feel like that in this kind of relationship. Because, for example, if there was a girl that we maybe were interested in pursuing, and if I felt uncomfortable about something, I would 100% confront you about it, and you would be, well, you have been in the past immediately, like you would respond right away and you would take action. And you would validate how I was feeling, always.
You showed me that trick.
I did show him how to be more of an emotional human. He would validate how I'm feeling. He would say all the right things to make me good, comfortable, and safe. And he would always make it be like, that's not a big deal. Like, who cares? Like, whatever. Let's just move on. Let's just have fun. Let's just be happy and safe and feel good and whatever. It's just, you know, there's so many opportunities to be with people and to have experiences. And if one doesn't work out, meh. It's not a big D.
Oh, big D.
Oh, yeah.
Is that an expression in English?
It's not a big D. What about you in terms of how I communicate, how you receive it, how you feel about it?
But you're so good at that. Like, I've seen you with other people first, and then I was like, oh, that was smart. Like, you're like, oh my God, like, yeah, it looks like you feel that way. It's like, oh, naming the emotion. And then you're totally allowed to feel the way you feel. And I was like, oh, that's validating. And so then I was like, oh, I'll try it, you know? And then I noticed that you did that on me.
Oh.
Without me noticing.
And how did you feel?
I felt great. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, we have a good communication bouncing thingy. But then again, it's down the road. It's like when you have something good that you don't want to ruin it. Like, who cares about? Like, because sometimes when I hear people fight or disagree, they look to win some type of cosmic game where they would score points somewhere, like, aha, you know. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to play that game. I don't want to win that game. You're totally right. I'm 100% wrong. Let's move on. But yeah, you're such a great communicator.
Thank you, you too.
Oh. What other questions people are asking? I'm starting to be more comfortable. You know?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we're in a groove, you know.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about dating as a single person versus dating as a couple? What's the difference for you?
Interesting. Like, dating as a couple is really fun. That I gotta say, like the even when we do it now, I'm still like, because when you date, there's like when you go on a date, a normal date with two humans, you know, like, you're kind of like, this is gonna be fun, but also like kind of, my God, I don't know that person. I have to talk all night, tell my life story that I've told like 100 times. That part is not so fun. Plus, it's like you throw the ball and then the ball comes back to you, and now she's talking about her life. Now you're talking, and that part is like, when you're three, then it's like, it's divided in three now. So you have breaks where it's like, it's normal 3-person conversation, but at some point you're less interested with the thing that is being said. So you're talking to the guy at the bar, you're like, this is good, man, blah, blah, blah. Now you're on a date, but you're not doing any effort for that, like, 5 minutes, and then...
You're tag teaming.
Yeah, like, then you're back, so you're talking, and then I'll go outside, you know, go to the bathroom. There's, like, breaks and stuff. It's fun. Plus, it's, like, it's cool to see you, like, you're, like, always like, I like your hair.
It is super fun though. I always have fun, and I always get that little bit of like rush and excitement before the date too. And it's just like going for drinks is like friends. It's cool, it's fun, everyone participates, and you still get that little like rush of kind of that first date, like jitters sort of thing. And it's really nice. I love going on dates with you.
Yeah, me too.
After the date and the night happened, like him and I the next day or in bed that night or in the morning, like we talk about it and we debrief and like what we liked, what we didn't like, and that's one of my favorite parts.
Do you have some girls on your subscribers? Like, I mean, if you girls want to go on a date with us, like, just text us, you know?
There's maybe like 2.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hey! Hey, girls. Oh my God.
There are a lot of questions that we have in terms of safe sex. Like Gab and I are, like, we only had sex with each other. At the sex club, what was that?
I mean, it's like, it's a valid question.
Yes, but...
And we don't have like a 100% score on that question. It's more like a 93, you know? It's never perfect, and sometimes when you have sex, you can catch some things. We haven't caught anything.
Yes, that's
that could happen. And then, well, like, I mean, some people caught COVID. Like, we could catch something.
All right, so let me touch base on the whole safe sex and pregnancy, birth control.
But there's no other men, first of all. So that
Yes, there's
kind
no
of
other
clear the like getting pregnant
Yes,
part.
but there's you.
Yeah.
So, just a little tidbit is Gab hasn't actually penetrated any woman that we've been with so far. That will come one day, probably. It's not that we're like against it. It just hasn't happened yet, which will be like a video in itself. In terms of, you know, men feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
No, don't say that.
Women.
We're on TV, baby.
We're just being honest. People want to know. These are real things.
No,
But I
let's
must say,
lie.
I'll tell you that you perform well every time, and every girl, and me included, have always been satisfied.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so there's never been any penetration. And in terms of using condoms and such, like, you know, obviously Gab and I don't use protection with each other because I have an IUD. And when we first met, we did use a condom.
Yeah.
We did, you know, have sex with a condom, obviously the first couple of times, and then we just kind of said, fuck it, and stopped using a condom as we became more monogamous, I guess. More exclusive, whatever you want to call it. I'm not, you know, in my own personal sexual experience, I was on birth control for a very long time. I use condoms, but I didn't use condoms 100% of the time. I will be perfectly honest with that. Sometimes I did get caught up in the moment and did have unprotected sex, and knock on wood. I've always been okay and nothing has ever happened to me, and that could have not been the case. So I'm very grateful for that. But I definitely did in my younger years have, you know, a few little mishaps here and there where I get caught up. So,
like, that's the part where I'd be curious to know the stats on where do you catch STDs, because people are like focusing on, oh, have you had sex with her? Yes. Have you had a condom? Yes. Oh, okay, then you're 100% safe. But wait, what did you do before putting on the condom? Was she sitting on your face and you're spitting like? Then there seems to be like there's a risk there, and if you want to remove that risk, there's all these like, I don't know, like having a cellophane thingy between you and
dental
her.
dam.
You and her pussy.
Or,
That's where like it's you know, might happen. Like, it's just, you try to put like, I tried to play the stats, you know, what's the most like stats problematic thing that, you know, you don't want to do that. Is this like, it could happen, but there's like VPH, you're like, hey, let's aim for the 90% mark.
I remember texting my best friend the next day, and when I told her about you, and I was like, you must be so proud of me. I even used a condom with him. Because when we first slept together, we were quite drunk.
Yes.
So, but not drunk enough.
But I had hidden condom, like.
You knew it was gonna happen?
I think I left the party at one point. I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. Like, just hide a condom. No, that's a joke, but it could be true.
It probably is true. I'm gonna end things there. We do have to get back to work now.
Let's go back to work.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We kind of, you know, touched base a little bit on a bunch of different topics. So if you have any other questions, let us know. We're gonna for sure be organizing some live soon, and we're also gonna be traveling soon, so we can't wait to share that stuff with you, and hoping to get back on the content making train very soon. And hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed like having Gab here.
Yay!
And
Thank you
if you
for
want to
having
know
me.
more, let us know. And that's it. Merci à tout le monde.
Merci, bye.